When the Levitical priesthood was properly functioning in Israel, the Shekinah of Yahweh was made manifest, and the people enjoyed his presence. But being descendants of Adam and Hava, you know some of us has just got to reach out and grab an electric fence every now and again. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 5 of Torah portion Shophtim. What are we talking about grabbing an electric fence? Even though the presence of Yah would be made manifest in the midst of the people, the spiritual curiosity of man still drives him to investigate that which Yah says, leave that alone. Let's read verses 9 through 12 of Deuteronomy chapter number 18. When you come into the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you, do not learn to do according to the abominations of those nations. Let no one be found among you who makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire, or one who practices divination, or a user of magic, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or one who conjures spells, or a medium, or a spiritist, or one who calls up the dead. Whoever does these are an abomination to Yahweh, and because of these abominations, Yahweh your Elohim drives them out from before you. So even though they were experiencing the presence of the Most High, he warns there are going to be some of you who are going to become curious and want to practice and delve into and investigate the dark arts for which these people are being driven out of the land. What does that say to us? If you do this, I'm going to drive you out of the land. No matter how intelligent man becomes, at times we are just as dumb as a brick, as many generations have been before us. We fail to learn. Yah is calling you and I to walk uprightly, righteously, set apart people, and to leave the stuff alone. From Rashi's commentary concerning these 9 different types of pagan forms of delving into the spirit realm, he says one who passes his son or daughter through a fire, that this was the worship of Molech, that bonfires would be built opposing one another, and children would be forced to walk this fiery path. We also know from some historical documents that a bronze hollowed out image of this idol with arms outstretched would be heated up with an interior fire till it was molten, and then infant babies would be placed in these outstretched arms, their screams drowned out by frantic demonic chanting and wild music. And somehow this was supposed to be something desirable. He says one who practices divination, or a soothsayer. A soothsayer, he says, is one who takes his rod in his hand and says, as though to counsel through it, shall I go or shall I not go? So Hosea chapter 4 verse 12 says, my people take counsel of his piece of wood, and his rod declares to him. So evidently this was indeed a practice. A user of magic, a diviner of auspicious times. Rabbi Akiva says, these are people who determine the time, saying such and such a time is good to begin such a venture. The sages also say this is one who uses their eyes to capture one's attention, and through the evil eye, they began to influence someone else's life. One who interprets omens is said to be those who look for tea leaves in the bottom of the cup, examining bread that falls from somebody's mouth, a black cat or some other animal crossing your path is a bad sign. Walking under a ladder, knocking on wood, Friday the 13th, etc. These are all terrible signs, and they govern our lives. One who is a sorcerer or a charmer is Rashi says one who collects snakes, scorpions, and other creatures into one place. Charms may also be referencing talismans, your lucky charms, a rabbit's foot, St. Christopher's cross emblem or medallion. Some people even wear a cross around their neck for such purposes. On and on the list could go. One who conjures spells is the modern day witchcraft of various sorts. And medium, Hebrew references them as pithom, a sorcerer. This is the one who raises the spirit of the dead, and from out of their armpit, believe it or not, the spirit begins to speak. A spiritist, it's called a yadoah, a sorcerer. Here they take the bone of an animal, they put it in their mouth, and the animal or the spirit begins to speak out of the person's mouth by virtue of this bone. And then one who calls up the dead, or a necromancer. This is one who consults with the dead in behalf of the living. Eric Barger talks about these same things in a more modern sense. Human sacrifice is the modern abortion industry. Divination, it's the heart of the occult, which is manipulating demonic sources. Astrology is examining the heavens for life on earth. An enchanter, someone who satanically is endowed to produce seductive spells. Much of your entertainment industry would fall into that category. Witches and witchcraft includes the modern organized counterpart of Wicca. The charmer, one who manipulates objects or beings via demonic power. A consulter with familiar spirits, one who again is a medium. Wizards or practitioners of magical arts. The whole Harry Potter saga. Necromancers are those who are claiming to be mediums who speak again in behalf of the living with the dead. So all of this is an attempt to learn of the future, learn about what the right moves and choices might be, seeking the darkness for a better walk in the light. Certainly we know that those who have no better understanding than to consult these things do so. Tarot cards, looking to the horoscope, consulting the scam artists over the telephone and paying them money to tell their future. It's a dark industry. For you and I, who are a part of the kingdom of Yah, who are men and women of light, the genuine gift is prophecy. Now, prophecy is not just foretelling the future. Oftentimes, prophecy is the declaration of truth to a nation or to a people and issuing a call of repentance to make teshuvah and to return, to walk uprightly according to the Torah. But Yah says that he is going to raise up for us a prophet like Moshe, and that we are accountable to listen to this prophet's words. In the day of Yochanan the Immerser, when the religious leadership came out to the Jordan, part of the questions that they asked him is, are you the prophet? If they're still looking for the prophet, the one who is to come, who is like Moshe, then they have also discerned that though Yeshayahu or Isaiah, Yirmiyahu or Jeremiah, Daniel, Yehezkel or Ezekiel, or any of the other minor prophets, none of them would have qualified in their estimation to be the prophet. So they are still looking for the prophet. Who is he and what is his message? So for you and I, it's not advisable to go running after someone with the tag prophet attached to their lapel. Anyone who has to tell you that they're a prophet really is unlikely a prophet. Their gift will make room for them, and they will be known by the fruit that they bear. They will lead you to the Torah and not tell you that it's been done away with. They will point to Messiah Yeshua. They will call you to righteousness in your walk. And they may give you an understanding of some choices that you need to make. But we're to live by His Word and by His Spirit. The gift of prophecy is an enhancement of that. Shabbat Shalom. May you find His presence real this Shabbat. And until next week, Shalom.